Hello again, guys. This is lesson 2, the homework. First question. Likelihood that Han makes a free throw is 60%. Likelihood that he makes a three-pointer is 0.345. Which event is more likely, making a free throw or making a three-point shot? Now, hopefully, he's better at free throws than three-pointers. But the trouble is we have a decimal and a percent, and the next one you're going to see you have some fractions as well. We need to make them all the same, right? So if you want to make them both percents, 60%, the decimal as a percent, so makes free throws 60% of the time, which also isn't very good, by the way. And three-pointers 34.5%, which actually is pretty good. So which one is more likely? He's got a better chance of making a free throw because it's a higher percent. So again, if it gives you different structures, fractions, decimals, percent, make them the same and then decide. Okay, same thing on the next one. Sort them from least to greatest. So do you want to make them all percents? Do you want to make them all fractions, decimals? Doesn't really matter. Let's just choose percent because I already see I have 2 percents already listed with A and D. So 8 out of 10 is 80%. Decimal is 37%. And 5 out of 6. So I would take 5 divided by 6 on my calculator and I get this. I believe that repeats. So that's going to be 83 1/3% or 83.3%. Okay, so least to greatest, which one is the smallest? That'd be D, followed by 37, and then 60, 80, and 83 1/3 or 5/6. So that's the order they should be in from smallest to biggest. Next one, number 3, 25 prime numbers between 1 and 100. There are 46 prime numbers between 1 and 200, which is more likely. So again, it's tough to tell because you have the 1 and 100 and 1 and 200. Those are different denominators. So 25 out of 100 would be the first one. Next one is 46 out of 200. 46 prime numbers out of 200. And so it's hard to compare fractions unless they have a common denominator. So I could just reduce this one. That's 23 out of 100. Okay, so which one is more likely? A or B. So picking a number out of 1 out of 100 or picking a prime number out of 1 out of 200. And it appears this one is going to be higher, so that's the one that's more likely. Explain how you know. When I got a common denominator, it was more likely. It happened 2 more times out of 100. Question number 4. Takes 4 and 3/8 cups of cheese, 7/8 cups of olives, 2 and 5/8 cups of sausage to make a pizza. How about to make 10 pizzas? We could make a chart, but it's not needed. Okay, it's not needed. I can make these into a decimal as well, but I'm making 10 of them, so I just got to take those numbers times 10. So what is 3 divided by 8? 0.375. So I'm going to take 4.375, which is cheese, times 10. 43.75 cups of cheese. And you could have left it as fractions. I would just need to make it improper and take it times 10. 7 divided by 8 is 0.875. So I'm going to take it times 10. 8.75 cups of olives. 2 and 5/8. 5 divided by 8 is 0.625, so 2.625 times 10 is, of course, 26.25 cups of sausage for 10 pizzas. Question number 5, I gave you a hint on yesterday's lesson that this one's going to be a little trickier. Because it's not a perfect prism, I can't use the perimeter of the base times the height because the height is not the same throughout the whole thing. Okay, our birdhouse is not a perfect prism, so we have to do figure out all the sides, and doesn't give me any dimensions on the birdhouse hole there, so I'm not going to worry about that. So let's do the bottom. Bottom would be 5.5 times 5.5. And I'll figure these all out at the end. The front side is going to be 5.5 times 9.25. The back is going to be 5.5 times 10.25. It gets a little higher in the back. And what side am I missing here? The top. 7.5 by 5.5. Okay, so that's 4 sides. The only sides I'm missing, which I gave you a little hint yesterday, was these sides, because the back is higher. Okay, the back is higher. So here's kind of our shape. It's not a perfect rectangle. I know the bottom is 5.5. This is 9.25. This is 10.25. Okay, so I can easily get, I'll just make it a rectangle and triangle. I can easily get this rectangle. It's going to be 5.5 times 9.5. Then I'm going to have to add that to the area of this triangle. Bottom is 5.5. How much higher is the right side than the left? So 10.25 times 9.25 is 1. Okay, so 5.5 times 1 divided by 2, because it's a triangle, is 2.75. So whatever I get for the rectangle, I got to add 2.75 to it. So I'm going to do that now. 5.5 times 9.25 plus 2.75. So that's 53.625, and I actually have to double it because I got the same thing on the other side. So times 2. So that's going to be 107.25. Okay, so I'm going to multiply these all out, and then I'm going to add them all together to get the total surface area. So 5.5 squared, 30.25. 5.5 times 9.25 is 50.875. 5.5 times 10.25, I'm going to erase this so it's out of my way, is 56.375. And 5.5 times 7.5 is 41.25. Okay, now I add all these numbers together, and it comes out really nice. I get an even 286 square inches. Okay, last problem. Select all the problems where knowing the surface area would be more useful than the volume. Okay, surface area. Circle them if they are. Place in an order of tiles to replace a roof of a house. So like shingles, carpeting, whatever, you're going to need surface area. How long it takes to clean windows of a greenhouse. Okay, so if you're cleaning a greenhouse, do you need to know how much surface area you have to clean to figure out how long it's going to take you? Certainly. Deciding what leftover soup will fit in a container, no, that is definitely volume. Filling a swimming pool with water, definitely volume. Calculating how much paper is needed to make candy bar wrappers, so we're covering the candy bars with them, yes. Sewing a couch cover, that's definitely surface area. Deciding whether one muffin pan is enough to make a muffin recipe, again, that's going to be volume because you're filling it with your muffin mixture. Okay, so those 4 should be circled. That is it for today, guys. Continue to stay safe and healthy, and we will talk to you soon.